Let us look at the tribulation and beast system. The book of Revelation defines the tribulation as a time during which the world would face unprecedented hardship. In the midst of this, the Antichrist, a figure of immense depravity and deception, will ascend to power during this time period, and establish a united global government. He will be a charismatic and persuasive leader, who will deceive a great number of people and nations into following him. He will also be assisted by another beast called the false prophet, who is described as a collaborator of the Antichrist. The Antichrist will be a violent dictator who consolidates his power over the world using force and terror. Anyone who does not follow him, or acquire the mark he and the false prophet demands, will be hunted and executed, as he employs his thuggery and brutality to establish his global dominance. The mark of the beast, which is mentioned in Revelation 13:16-18, is a symbol of allegiance to the Antichrist and the government he controls. Those who refuse to accept this mark will be labeled as enemies of the state, and will lose all rights and be excluded from its economy. Simply all transactions, including the purchase and selling of things, will need the mark. Popular conjecture is that the mark is a physical mark, such as a seal or an implanted microchip, even though the Bible does not specify the nature of the mark. A time of tremendous pain and persecution will befall the people of God who have been saved, and who have survived into this half of the tribulation. The book of Revelation warns readers that individuals who get the mark of the beast will suffer eternal ramifications. Those who choose to get the mark will incur God's wrath, and spend eternity apart from him. According to Revelation 14:9-11, if anyone worships the beast and his image, and gets his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he too must drink of the wine of God's wrath. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the sight of God's holy angels and the Lamb. In the middle of the tribulation, the Antichrist is depicted as someone who will profane God and exalt himself above all by opening his mouth to blaspheme God, his name, his tabernacle and even them in heaven. This is also prophesied in a vision in Daniel 9:27. When the prophet Daniel is granted a vision of a time when the Jewish people will endure severe hardship. This period is known as the abomination of desolation. It describes an event that will occur during the 7-year time of hardship or adversity. The abomination of desolation is the Antichrist's irreverence of the Jewish temple. A temple the Jews built before or during the tribulation period. In turn, the false prophet constructs an image or altar devoted to the Antichrist in or around the temple. This event will trigger a time of intense persecution and suffering for the Jewish people known as the Great Tribulation. This also is described in Matthew 24:15-22, when Jesus spoke about the abomination of desolation as a future event that will take place in the tribulation temple. This event will signify the beginning of a time of Jacob's trouble or the Great Tribulation that has never been seen before. He also emphasizes the urgency of the situation, stating that those who are in Israel should flee to the mountains when they see this abomination. The false prophet will also use his supernatural powers to deceive people and perform amazing signs and wonders. The purpose of these signs and marvels is to persuade people that the Antichrist is the actual Messiah. The false prophet creates an image that may represent a physical representation of the political power, such as a statue or emblem, that is used to further entrench the cult-like worship of the Antichrist. The image will also be brought to life in some form of technology to deceive the nations. Revelation warns that during the tribulation, the Antichrist and a false prophet would spread erroneous ideas and beliefs that will lead a large number of people astray. This will result in a substantial deviation from the truth and the establishment of a false religion, used to impose control and influence over the general population. During this time, those that believe will be put to the test, as they must recognize the true identity of the Antichrist, and struggle against the deception he promotes. Finally, the book of Revelation envisions a faithful remnant of believers and the 144,000 who will endure tribulation and struggle against the Antichrist's rule. These believers will be protected from the coming judgments and plagues by God, who will seal them and provide them with His protection. They will ultimately be victorious because of their testimony and their faith in Jesus Christ, which will enable them to defeat the Antichrist and his beast system. Today, if you are not saved and do not know Jesus, and want to be protected by God from this beast system, you need to accept Jesus into your heart, and then you will be saved from the wrath to come. Thank you for listening.
If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like and share. To support this ministry, please click on the link below this video. Or go to donate at gracetoprophecy.com. May God bless you.